guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today for another video. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I wash my makeup brushes. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. So for this video, all you'll need is a little bit of dish detergent and a brush mat if you have one. If you don't, it's completely okay. So first, you're going to take a small amount of dish detergent and put it down on your mat and then begin to rub your brush in a circular motion. You're going to want to do this until you've removed all the makeup from your brush. The way that you'll know all the makeup is gone is that you won't have brown suds anymore. Your suds will be white. And again, you want to make sure that you're doing this very gently. If you don't have a brush mat, then the other alternative is using the palm of your hand. And you're going to do the same thing, which is just rub your brush in circular motions, and you're going to do this until the suds are no longer brown. Just keep in mind when you're doing this to hold your brush upright, so that way the water isn't falling down into the bristles, it's falling back down into the sink. And the reason for this is because if too much water gets at the base of your brush, it'll loosen your bristles over time and they will begin to fall out and your brushes won't be any good anymore. So just keep that in mind to preserve the longevity of your brushes. So here I'm just rinsing all the dish detergent out of the brush because my bristles are clean and there is no more brown suds. You can still see some white suds coming out of the brush, which means that there's still a little bit of dish detergent in there. Now, once you've done that, you're going to want to form your brush back to its original shape and then lay it upright to dry. And there you have it, guys. So we're just going to repeat these exact same steps with all of our brushes, and I'm going to show you how I do it with each kind of brush and different sizes of brushes. And then once we get to our sponges, I'll show you guys exactly how I clean my sponges as well. And just keep in mind, guys, with brushes that are a little bit bigger like this one and the ones that are more dense, you do want to use just a little bit more dish detergent than what you would use with your smaller brushes, just because we want to ensure that we are penetrating the brushes and getting the bristles as clean as we can. We do want to make sure that we're not using any brushes that have a lot of leftover makeup in the brushes. It's really not good for your skin, and I do recommend, if you don't have a brush pad, to purchase one. They're very inexpensive. I purchased mine from TJ Maxx for like $3, and they make a huge difference with cleaning your brushes. Not saying that your hand isn't good. Your hand is a really good tool to use, but a brush pad just helps you get those nooks and crannies that you can't necessarily get with the palm of your hand. So just keep that in mind. If you don't already have a brush pad, I do recommend that you purchase one, especially if you own a lot of brushes like myself. your sponges, you first want to start by getting your sponge really wet, and then you're going to take about a pea-sized amount of dish detergent and really work it into your sponge, and just go back and forth between wetting it under the water and squeezing out all the extra soap and makeup. And then what I also do to ensure that my sponges are really clean is I just take my sponge and really work it against my brush pad. It looks like I'm doing it kind of hard, but I promise you I'm being very gentle with my sponge because they do tear very easily. And once you've done that for about 2 to 3 minutes, your sponge should look something like this. And then I proceed to do the same thing to the rest of my sponges. The dirtier your sponge, the more dish detergent you're going to want to use. And just remember to be very gentle when you're rubbing your sponge up against the brush pad. Not all sponges can handle the brush pad. Depending on the texture of your sponge, they may tear. So again, be very gentle. And with your smaller brushes, these are going to be the easiest of your brushes to clean. You can actually clean about 2 to 3 of them at a time. You just take a little bit of dish detergent and put it on the center of your hand or on your brush pad and just rub them gently in circular motions, and all your eyeshadow will come right out of the brushes. These typically take maybe 5 minutes to clean, depending on how many you have. So again, just rub them in circular motions with a small amount of dish detergent, and you're going to do this until your brush either looks clean or until there's no more brown suds or colored suds coming from your makeup brushes. So once we have our brushes nice and cleaned and they are laying out to air dry, you do want to go back and make sure you clean your brush containers. They do tend to get makeup in them from time to time, just from putting in your dirty sponges and brushes. So you want to make sure you get those nice and cleaned and get any makeup that's left in them out, because they can stain your containers and it's just not a good look. And then once I'm satisfied with my container, I then go ahead and clean off my brush pad. Be sure that after every use that you're cleaning your brush pad as well, just to keep any bacteria from growing on the surface. And then once you're done with that, make sure you clean your sink as well too, especially if you have a white sink like myself. Being a woman of color, I wear darker makeup, so if we leave that on there and be lazy and don't clean that off, you will stain your sink. I hope this video was helpful, guys. If I left anything out or if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.